Once there was a king who was very impressed by a monk whom he saw every day at the time he went for a round in his city. That monk always sits under a tree. Sometimes he plays flute or sings any song, or sometimes he just calmly sits under a tree. The king often saw him for hours by hiding there. Every day, after watching the monk, the king too becomes very calm and joyful. One day, the king got so emotional that he went to the monk and requested him to not stay there and come into his palace as the rainy season is about to come. After listening to this, the monk immediately stands and says, "Okay, let's go." After listening to this, the king was surprised as he didn't expect this reply from the monk. Further, the king thought he would become happier if the monk said, "I am happy here. My happiness is not bounded by the palace or the luxuries. I had left this life." The king thought, is this monk is original or fake? So, the king was doubting that monk and his intentions. The king thought, how can I say no to him now? What kind of monk is he? At the time when he got a chance for a luxurious life, he immediately said yes. The king was thinking, but the monk was already on his horse. The king kept on thinking that for the first time, I made a decision so early. So, the monk started living in the king's palace. The king wasn't happy with the monk in his palace, although he was doing the same things which he was doing earlier. He kept on playing flute, watching stars at night, or living joyfully. Often, the king gets jealous of that monk because the monk is living a full luxurious life without any worry, whereas the king has lots of worries. Somehow, 6 months passed. Now the king decided to talk with the monk. So the king asked, "My lord, there is no difference between you and me now, as we both are living a full luxurious life in this palace." The monk replied, "King, you want to know the difference? You should have asked this thing at the time 6 months back when I came into this palace. I had already read your face at that time. Why did you live 6 months in jealousy? If you asked me at that time, I would immediately sit under that tree only." Further, the monk said, "I will tell you the difference, but tomorrow morning and out of this city." The king thought, how can it be any difference as the monk eats the same which I eat? He lives in a better and bigger room than mine. He often demands different things. Clothes he wears way better than me. He looks more king than me. So how can there be any difference between both of us? Next morning, the king goes into the monk's room. He saw the monk wear the same old clothes now. Both of them started their journey out of that town. Soon they reached out of the town, but the monk kept on walking. It's been afternoon now. The king said, "Stop now, we are away outside our town. Tell me here only, what you want to say." The monk said, "I will go even ahead, you want to come with me or not?" The king said, "How can I come with you? I have a wife, children, palace, kingdom to take care of, you don't have any. So I can't go with you." The monk said, "See, this is the difference between you and me. I can go anywhere whereas you cannot go anywhere. I live happy in every situation. You can't. When I was living under that tree, I lived joyfully. The same way, when I was living in the palace, I lived joyfully in the same way. Now, wherever I go, I will live in the same way. Because I live only in the present instant. I never lived in the past or in the future, I only lived in the present as I understand fully that life is in the present only. You live happy according to things and events happening around you, but for me, these events or things are just a part of life. My happiness isn't affected by these." Now, the king thought, "Oh, I have made a big mistake. In these past 6 months, I could have learned so much from this monk. The king requested the monk not to go from his palace. The monk said, "O king, I don't have any problem with you. I can return with you easily." After listening to this, the king has again the same thought that how the monk can easily say yes. The monk understand everything again and decline his invitation now by saying, "No, if I come with you again, you will think the same again. I have no problem in your palace or in this jungle. For me everything and every situation is the same and a part of life." Friends, all of us are slaves of our situation or events in life. According to them we become happy or sad. Friends, have you ever thought that we can rise above these situations and things? Can we know the true nature of ourselves? If you are able to see yourself silently, then you will realize that you want to rise above these situations of life, but these situations don't let you rise above them. Have you ever thought, there should be some path surely which can raise you above from this salvation of situations and give you freedom? Try to rise above from this mind and you will get the answer.